A long, long time ago, Allah created the first people, Adam and Hawa. They were good people and blessed by Allah. They worshipped Allah without excuses. They prayed every day, even when it was too cold or too hot. Allah watched Adam and Hawa, and soon their offspring multiplied and spread throughout the lands. Allah blessed Adam and commanded people to follow his example. Allah's promise to them was that they would find the most beautiful garden at the end of their lives. Allah sent blessings upon Adam and Hawa. With time, his family grew and grew until Adam had grandchildren, and even his grandchildren had grandchildren. He was content with his blessings and how big his family had grown. Glory be to Allah! I cannot believe my eyes! This is my family! This is how I have been blessed! Thank you, O Allah! Adam eventually passed away with old age. Adam's family built homes and began to plant things in the rich soil. These places became villages. With Allah's blessings, the people began to start more villages across the land. Adam's family lived in peace. Allah gave them good weather to grow their crops and feed their families. The people followed Adam's example. They worshipped only Allah, and they praised him for the wonderful gifts he continued to give them. Allah was their Lord, and Adam was their father. When Allah asked the people to bow with Adam and follow his examples of worship, some people had refused. Allah had sent these people away, taking away blessings from them. Shaitan watched from afar. Shaitan was jealous of Adam. Shaitan thought that he was better than Adam and his offspring. It made him angry that Allah sent them all the blessed things to make their lives better. Shaitan wanted to break Allah's relationship with Adam and his family. He wanted to show Allah that Adam and his family will disobey Allah. Shaitan wanted to show Allah that Adam and his family do not deserve the beautiful garden. Shaitan began to think of a plan to take the garden away from the people. He wanted a way to have them punished. But Allah is a forgiving Lord and does not punish people if they are truly sorry. Shaitan needed someone to do his work for him. He chose someone that was cruel and rude and dishonest. He would need to make Adam's people do something so wicked that Allah would not forgive them and take his blessing from them. Shaitan began to think about the things that Allah hated. Allah is a forgiving Lord, but there is one thing he does not forgive. When people worship other things besides Allah. Allah saw this as an unspeakable betrayal, a sin that was unforgivable. Shaitan knew that this was the way to punish the people. Now Shaitan had a plan, but he also had a problem. Shaitan knew that if he sent his servants to tell people to worship other things, the people would chase them away. "Get away from here, you evil person! You're nothing but trouble! If we listen to you, we'll end up in trouble." Shaitan knew that he must trick the people to lead them in a path that would anger Allah. It needed to be done in the most deceitful manner. Shaitan wanted to get to their hearts. Adam's family had many pious men. These men praised Allah without fail. They loved Allah and Allah loved them. These men eventually died, but people remembered their actions. They remembered the way that these people had worshipped Allah, and they knew that this was what Allah wanted. Shaitan knew that this was the key to distracting Adam's family.
Remember the pious men? They were truly remarkable people.
You suddenly respect pious men. You have never mentioned them before.
You're right. I have made many mistakes in my life. I see that now. I have turned my back on Allah and lost His blessings. But I'm a changed woman. And it's all because of these pious men. I have remembered the way they worshipped Allah, and I love them for it.
Yes, we love them too. Yes, we love them.
They were truly great men. I have learned so much from following their example.
We are happy to hear that you are learning from your mistakes.
Yes, I'm learning a lot. These pious men are my greatest teachers.
As they are ours. They were Allah's friends. When they prayed to Allah for something, they received great things from Him.
Do you miss them?
Yes.
Me too. I want to see them again. Wouldn't it be wonderful to see them again?
That would be wonderful.
I have an idea. Why don't we make pictures of them? That way, we can see them every day and remember their actions. That way, we can remember what Allah wants from us and continue to be blessed by Him.
That is a great idea. I miss these pious men, and if I can see them every day, I won't be distracted by my work each day. I will remember what Allah wants from me. The men ran off to start their pictures, inspired by this evil idea. Little did they know that Shaitan had played one of his greatest tricks on them. The villagers began to create magnificent pictures of the holy men. They shared these with their families and kept them in places where they would see them each day. Allah's people were even more inspired to worship Allah now. Each family could now show these holy men respect and follow their examples in worshipping Allah. As time passed, sons became fathers, daughters became mothers. Adam's people replaced pictures of the holy men with statues of the pious men. They continued to remember these men and respect the example they had left behind. But then, something changed. Oh, holy men, I wish you were here right now to guide me. I have a terrible problem and need guidance. Please bless me with your wisdom. Please bless me with your ideas. This was the beginning of great sin. The unforgivable sin. This man had given a statue something that is only reserved for Allah. More and more people began to seek blessings from the statues. Sons watched their fathers seeking blessings from the statues. My father is a good man. He always follows Allah's example. I will do as he does. If he seeks blessings from these statues, then I must do the same. The sons became fathers and had their own children. Whenever a pious man died, a statue was made of him and named after him. People looked for blessings in these statues. They even sacrificed animals to them. Allah was deeply angered by these actions. It has taken many years of waiting, but Shaitan's plan was finally working. The people were doing the one thing that would anger Allah, and that Allah would take away His blessings from people of Adam.
Subscribe today, only on Muslim Kids TV.
This is a confusing question indeed, but tell me this. What is the difference between honesty and truthfulness? If honesty is telling the truth, is truthfulness any different than honesty?
I think honesty is more general, while truthfulness is more specific.
Truthfulness means our words and our actions are full of truth.
Truthfulness means that you don't lie to protect yourself or anyone else. It's living by your own nature.
Truthfulness means being yourself and not trying to exaggerate to impress someone or anyone and trying to be something you're not.
Hey, kids, so how can I practice truthfulness?
Sometimes we're shy about telling others that we're Muslim. Speak the truth and tell everyone about the beautiful message of Islam.
It's easy to get confused nowadays with how the media is portraying us as Muslims. Don't let others tell you what to think.
Okay, things you see in movies are fantasy. It's good to know the difference between fantasy and reality and put them together so that way we'll be able to separate them in the future.
Always admit when you make mistakes. It's good to be truthful to yourself.
Allah has created you perfect, no matter how big your eyes are, how tiny your nose is, or how dark your skin is. Allah has created you perfect. He is Al-Musawwir, the best designer. Do not exaggerate to impress anyone with your clothes, your speech, or anything really.
When we are true to ourselves and everyone and everything around us, we live our lives in peace.
We have no fear. When we are always truthful, we do not fear anyone.
That is true. When we are truthful with our actions and words, we have no fear. Alhamdulillah.
Lubna of Cordoba. Can you imagine growing up as a slave girl and then becoming an important secretary at the court of the greatest ruler in the land? That's what happened to Lubna of Cordoba. She lived in Al-Andalus in the 10th century. We don't know a lot about her life. However, it's easy to guess that as a slave girl, her life must have been hard. Perhaps she washed clothes, fetched water, and waited on her masters all day long. Or maybe she worked on a farm. However, at some point in her young life, Lubna of Cordoba began to learn. She must have learned to read and write thanks to the help of someone. Perhaps one of her masters taught her. Lubna was a quick learner who learned about many diverse subjects. She was especially gifted with words and became a well-known poet and grammarian. She was also good at math. Al-Hakam II, Caliph of the Caliphate of Cordoba, took notice of this interesting woman. He asked her to come work as his secretary. She agreed and quickly became an important figure in al-Hakam's court. Lubna of Cordoba was put in charge of the library in Cordoba. In addition, she helped convince the caliph to build a very large library at Medina Azahara, the caliph's city and palace. It is said that Lubna probably traveled far and wide to pick out valuable books and scrolls to add to the collections. Then she worked at translating many of these important manuscripts so they could be read in Arabic. She also wrote books of her own to contribute to the important libraries in Cordoba. Lubna wasn't the only woman who worked at translating and transcribing manuscripts. It's said that in Al-Hakam II's time, over 170 other women made copies of manuscripts, copying each word by hand. Lubna is also said to have specialized in writing in beautiful Arabic calligraphy. Have you ever tried to write calligraphy? It's a challenging but beautiful art. Lubna was an extraordinary woman in a time when women were not often allowed to focus on academics or become scholars. Lubna defied the odds and became an important figure in the court of Al-Hakam II.
Subscribe today, only on Muslim Kids TV.
Eid al-Fitr, can you think of anything neater than parties in the streets, hugging friends with so much to eat? The food's much sweeter now that Ramadan's completed. We celebrate together, it's Eid. Come celebrate Eid with me, with me. It's time to have a big party.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to Sum Up Sajid, where I, Sajid, will be summing up each surah of the Quran. It will be a very, very short summary of each surah. I hope that with this summary, it will help you better understand the Quran and love it each time you read it. Let's start.
Al-Fatiha. It is the first surah inside the Quran. It has 7 verses, and in English it's called the opening.
Al-Fatiha means the opener. This surah is called Al-Fatiha because the Quran begins with it, and we begin our prayers with it too. The surah teaches us that Allah takes care of the whole universe. We must praise Allah and be thankful to Him for all the blessings. It is also important to always remember that Allah is the best guide. He guides us to the path that He loves. So we must always ask for His help and His guidance.
Oh wait, before we proceed, some of my friends have some tips for all of us on how they memorized the Quran. Let's listen.
One thing that helps me learn the Quran is to keep on practicing and remembering that it's helping me and go to Jannah where it's amazing.
They should never stop not doing their Quran, and they should always practice every single day. And the more you practice, the more you would finish it easily and quickly, and just have like 5 breaks or something. And yeah, don't get distracted. Ask someone to help you if you need any help, and have fun.
Here are 5 Arabic words that you should know from this surah. Hamd means praise in English. Everyone praises Allah. I mean, every living creature in this world praises Allah. Rabb means Lord, the one who cares for and looks after everyone. Allah is our Rabb. Yawm al-Din means the day of judgment, the day when we will get the results of our deeds. Mustaqim means straight, like a ruler. We've got to keep ourselves on the straight path. Daalin means astray. We don't want to be one of those.
But before we continue, let's listen to some of my friends on how they were able to memorize the Quran.
That first they should memorize it without the harakat, because then they could read it easily, and then learn with the harakat.
Memorize each page for at least 3 days, and then take another page. But if you don't remember the first page in 3 days, just practice more.
Let's recite Surah Al-Fatiha together. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Anyone want to share anything else?
So you have to pray because you have to talk to Allah. You have to help your mom with the dishwashers.
I hope that you learned something today, and I look forward to seeing you again next time here on Sum Up Sajid.
Ustaz Sajid.
What do you want to be when you grow up, Bilal?
I want to be a great warrior.
Being a warrior won't make you a great man. Being a great man means living without chains.
Chains?
The ones you can't see. The ones in here.
You were free once, were you not, Bilal?
A long time ago, devils raided my village. They took me and my sister.
Me, slave.
Brother, did he harm you?
How will we ever be free?
We must never give in.
Being a great man means living without chains.
Your story will race out of this desert, across the world. You will inspire the hearts of many to unite us as one.
What do you want to be when you grow up, Bilal?
Subscribe today.